Fellow guests, have you enjoyed Tom and Danielle's wedding break?
Yes.
Allow me to introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, I am Tom's dad. The father of the groom does not normally get a place to speak at a wedding, but Tom, in his wisdom, has asked me to be Master of Ceremonies. I say in his wisdom because he surely would have thought that if anyone knows stories about his misspent youth, it would be his dad. That, though, is not my role this evening, so he can be... But I do want to prevail upon the opportunity I have that grooms' fathers do not often get, just to make a couple of brief comments. The first is to welcome wholeheartedly Danielle into our family. We have got to know Danielle over recent months and years, and we are certain she will be a very pleasant and fruitful addition to the Torah clan. The second thing I want to do is to say to the Farmer family that in Tom we think you have a great asset as well. And nobody knows Tom better than his parents. That's really all I have to say, because talking of the Farmer family means that we need to move on to the father of the bride, Ken Farmer, who will propose the toast to the happy couple. Ken.
Thank you, Brian. There will be specific thank yous later in the evening, or I'll know the reason why. But I'd like to thank all of you for taking part in the day. And it doesn't seem to be doing very much. Taking part in the day. But I thought we should just perhaps pause for those that gave the supreme sacrifice in the cause of this wedding. I mean, of course, the roses, the delphiniums, the lilies, and the freesias. I would like to paint a little picture of Danielle, but based on the memories that I have. Now, Danielle is a very courageous and determined person, as I'm sure you all know, and it started very early on. And you'll know that she's battled through some difficult times more recently, but I've got a few little memories. One was of a young girl, a little girl really, on a fairly large horse, wearing a brightly coloured jacket and a riding hat that was rather too big for her. And all was going well until I noticed that her bottom was where her head should be and her head was the other way up. They parted company shortly afterwards, so the horse riding didn't last that long. But nevertheless, she got involved in it and had a go. The next one, I don't know if you know that Danielle's a dancer, but we visited the Chichester Festival one year, and Danielle, in a very fetching electric blue leotard, went through her routine in front of a theatre full of people. And as you will imagine, as a dad, you kind of stand on the sidelines and you just hope it's all going to go well, and you're cringing just in case it didn't, but anyway, it was all fine. The third one, again, most of you may not know, that when she was at secondary school, the school had a little farm. And as part of this farm, they had on loan a number of Ayrshire cattle, little calves. But they would prepare these cattle to go to the country shows. Now this wasn't, as you might imagine, you just put a rope on it and wheel it in. They dressed up in Ayrshire Society uniform, collar and tie, looking very smart. And the calves had to have a beauty treatment as well before they went on. And Danielle several times went out in the show ring being judged. Well, they were supposed to be judging the calf, but they were judging the handler as well, in front of a large crowd of people, which I think takes a lot of bottles, so I was very impressed with that. Culminating really in an occasion, we went up to the Royal Showground in Warwickshire, where instead of a calf, she was given a full-grown cow. Now, with a calf, you can lean on it and it will go where you want largely, but the cow doesn't. But nevertheless, that was a challenging experience. Now, I alluded to the fact that there have been some difficulties in more recent times. When Danielle went to university first, she was not in a good state. And I'll have to say that as her father, it wouldn't have surprised me if she had to give it up within the first few weeks. As it turned out, she stayed there, she toughed it out. Now, bear in mind that this was in Lancaster University and we live in Sussex, so it's a long way away, and so you were battling illness as well, and she kept going and she graduated. And just as a little personal marker for the two of us, we found our way up onto Striding Edge near Helvellyn, up in the Lake District, to mark the contrast between the difficulty in moving her at the beginning of her course and how good she was at the end. And then after that, again, thinking of Dad on the sidelines watching what was going on, with a companion she did a European trip, which involved rail travel and hostels, and visited most of the sort of key cities around Europe. Now, when you're back home and you don't know where they are and you wonder what's going on and you know the things that can go wrong, it can be a bit edgy. But nevertheless, Danielle took the challenge and had a good time and learned a lot. So that's Danielle, and you can imagine that particularly today I'm a very proud dad. I've now got a new son-in-law, Tom. I've not known Tom as long as I have Danielle, obviously, but a very warm welcome to our family, Tom. And I'd like to welcome as well and to say we're looking forward to getting to know better Tom's family. So Jenny and Nick, and Elizabeth and Brian, and Matt, who's out there somewhere. Now, what do we know about Tom? He loves flying, he loves mayonnaise, and he loves Danielle. I might not have got that order quite right. But, as many of you will know, that this particular romance, which has been wonderful to watch, blossomed in the most difficult circumstances, and I have to thank you, Tom, for the support that you've given to Danielle and the lift you've given them. You arrived at exactly the right time. And I think that, as you can see now, that Danielle is blooming, and I hope she continues to do that, and that you've seen her at her worst, and now that you're about to see her at her best. Now, I think it's part of the job of the father of the bride to sort of impart a little bit of wisdom. So, one would be, you need to work on your communication. And by that I mean that, for example, if you know you're in the right, keep quiet. If you know you're in the wrong, then be brave enough to admit it. And the other thing that can happen in any relationship is a misunderstanding. You think you understand what's going on around you, but you really don't. And there was a chap that was convinced that his wife was gradually becoming more and more deaf. So he went to the doctor, and the doctor said, well, we can see your wife and we can run the tests and so on, and we can sort things out. But there's a very simple informal test that you can do, and we'll just see where we are after that. And so he took the doctor's instructions, and his wife was in the kitchen and he was in the lounge, and he said, what's for dinner, dear? And didn't get a response. So he went a bit closer and stood in the hallway. What's for dinner, dear? Still no response. So he went into the kitchen and said, what's for dinner, dear? And she said, with a very exasperated look on her face, for the third time, we're having roast chicken tonight. seeing my daughter in the condition she's in, having seen her at her lowest ebb, I'm really chuffed, really proud, and I've really enjoyed today. And seeing you and Tom together now is absolutely brilliant. So I'd like you all please to take your glasses, and I'd like to toast Tom, wrong way around, Danielle and Tom, and to wish you every happiness.
Tom, this is the moment you've been looking forward to respond to your new father-in-law, and indeed to toast the best man and the bridesmaids. Tom.
I'll try my... Can anyone hear? Can people hear me? Oh yeah. I'll try. I've written mine out just so I didn't miss anything, but we should definitely do this again. So. Thanks, Ken, for your toast. I have the easiest speech, apparently. I got advice from people, and apparently there are only two things that I need to remember. The first is to thank everyone, which I will come to in a moment. The second bit of advice I got from Chris Backwell, actually, right there. Basically, he gave me advice that he was given on his wedding day over 10 years ago now. 10 years, wow. Oh, turned off. Try again. He was, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Chris was told, whatever you do, whatever you say, you must remember to compliment your wife on how beautiful she looks. And Chris told me I needed to do the same, so I thought it was odd, but I'm going to go with it. So Ruth. But seriously, isn't Danielle looking absolutely stunning? I, like many of you, can't believe I'm finally married. It turns out snog and avoid are a lot easier to accomplish. But on to the aforementioned thanks. Firstly, I'd like to thank everyone who's contributed to make today happen. Thanks to the bridesmaid and flower girls, such Jana, Charlotte, Mika and Iva. Jana, thanks for your friendship to Danielle and not saying to her, I'm not sure about this one. We have something for you as a token of our appreciation, so thank you. So thank you, yeah, let's clap. So Charlotte, my goddaughter, Mika and Iva, you all look amazing, did an amazing job today in the ceremony, so thank you very much. And thanks to Rebecca, Charlotte's mother, for doing her hair and providing a dress and just being an amazing, all-round amazing person and friend. Thanks to Lisa Perkins for doing Danielle's hair and also organising Danielle's hen party and making it really special for her. I know your friendship has meant a lot to her in the run-up to the wedding, so thank you very much. Thanks a lot to Chris Speller for doing Danielle's and Jana's bouquet. bouquets, and generally helping Danielle with the flowers. So thank you, Chris. We've got something from you. So thanks a lot to my ushers, my brother Matt and Chris Waghorn, and I'm sure there's another one. Dan! I wasn't going to forget you. Chris, you need an extra thanks for sorting out the band. You guys sounded amazing. Wasn't the band really amazing today? This is a true story. On the way out, we chatted to one of the church wardens who's been very against having a band in the church. But today, because of hearing you guys, he changed his mind. So thank you for that. Chris was absolutely brilliant in pulling the band together, practicing, coming down to Sussex to check out the PA, talking to me on the phone when I was stressing out about the PA, and just generally being excellent about everything. I appreciate your friendship and inspiration. You and Ruth are some of my favourite people. So we've got some presents for all the ushers. So say thank you. Let's clap the ushers. Thanks to the rest of the band, Sarah, Darren, and the other one. You're right, it is hard to remember. Seriously, though, Dan is a great guy, checks in on me from time to time. He's often the glue that holds the group together, and I appreciate you a lot, so thanks. And of course, my best man, Pete. What can I say about Peter? Urgency Gadsden. Well, I'm hoping he's going to go light on me in his speech. I lived with Pete for 6.5 years, and I have to say he's one of the easiest people to live with and get along with it. Our flat may have been neglected, but our friendship never was. Pete is a genuinely good, well-meaning person, someone who sees God in everything and everyone, someone who wants to live his life being connected and creative. Sometimes that creativity manifested as baking bread at 1 in the morning on a school night, but I can't hold that against him. Seriously, I'm really grateful for your friendship, Pete. You were the obvious choice of best man and did an amazing job organising my stag and calming my nerves in the build-up to today. So I have a little present for you, something I found for you to help you through those baking days, or should I say nights. In fact, I quite used to open it now, if that's okay. So you may need to walk this.
Many layers, sorry. Oh, that is beautiful.
Thanks, Pete. Ken and Linda, my in-laws, you've truly welcomed me into your family and have made me feel so at home when I've been staying at yours. Linda, on a weekly basis, has been sewing at holes and trying to get stains out of clothes I've given her. She's a professional mum. Ken, thank you for your kind words / cruel words, delete as appropriate. Kind words. Thanks for basically letting me camp out in your office. Ken and Linda, I will endeavour to be a good husband to your daughter. I know, this is where I get emotional. I know she deserves my best, and by God's grace, I will try to keep on growing and becoming the best I can be. Thank you for your help in making this wedding happen, your really generous contribution. And we have a present for you as well, and I believe there are some flowers as well, which are not available at the moment, but you'll be able to get
Don't forget the shoes.
Oh yes, and Ken polished my shoes as well with military precision. On to my parents. Dad, I get my sentimental side from you, and also my desire to write. When I was at boarding school, I would find out what my dad was up to by buying the Saturday Independent and reading his columns. Basically, you could order subscriptions to newspapers and other things such as theatre trips and the like at Uppingham and then bill them to your parents. So that's what all those sundries were, in case you were So thanks, Dad. It was always cool having a dad on the radio and TV, even if I never really understood what he was talking about half the time. So thanks, Dad and Elizabeth, for raising me, even when at times I was not the easiest child. And thanks also for your really, really generous financial contribution to the and we have something for you too, yeah. So. Mum and Nick, you are still probably the smartest people I know. And you've always encouraged and inspired me to remain engaged with the world and thoughtful. I always feel sharpened up in conversations with you both. My mother, at my 30th birthday, asked me, "When are you going to bring home a nice lady?" And then threw in, "Or is it men you're interested in?" I didn't really help myself by replying, "Well, would it surprise you if it was men?" Not really, was her reply. Well, it's taken me 39 years, but I think I found not just a nice lady, but the best of the best. Yeah. So, Mum and Nick, thanks for all the support you've given me in my life so far, and also for your help and contribution to the wedding today. I'm truly grateful to have such gifted parents, and it's always made me want to do something extraordinary with my life too. So, and we have presents for you. So I just, put my hands together and thank my parents. So thanks to Emma Ward for the delicious cake we're going to be eating later. Thanks a lot to Jane Hartley for stepping in last minute to help decorate the venue today. It looks really amazing. Thanks a lot to the Vicar Paul for the ceremony and the wedding prep. Thanks for everyone involved in the ceremony: Vicky, Pippa, Rick and Deb, Ruth, Dave Jones, the amazing voice of Joe Appleby, and to Ashley for the PA. It's also Rick and Deb's anniversary today, so themselves today. So thanks for giving up on your celebration to join us.
This is our celebration.
And thank you for pouring into Danielle over the years and letting her and us stay with you in Christchurch. Thanks to Nick Davies for the photography and Jonathan Pymm for the videography. And thanks to all the staff at Ravenswood for just making us feel really comfortable. And thanks to you all for being with us and celebrating today. If you hadn't had a special mention today, it's not because you're not special. It's because we want to get on to Pete's speech as quickly as possible. You're all important and special to me, and my life is better with you in it. I'd like to thank someone who couldn't be here, and someone who I've never met, and who Danielle's never met. And that is Danielle's liver donor. Simply ticking a box on a form has given Danielle new life. We prayed for healing, and sometimes that healing comes through medicine. Often, it seems. And I'm also thankful to all the surgeons and staff at King's College Hospital, London, and the other various hospitals that we've frequented. I'm dating. I'm thankful to God for being at the centre of our lives. He's my rock and the only thing that makes sense and gives meaning in these times of confusion, division, and turmoil that we see in the world. God is love, and I rely on that love every day. And lastly, I would like to thank my beautiful wife, Danielle. So close to the end. I love you from the bottom of my heart. You challenge me, support me, encourage me to be better. You make my life better. And I'm excited to go on this adventure of marriage together with you. Thank you for seeing something in me and agreeing to marry me. And you do look absolutely beautiful today. All that remains then is to raise a glass. It's customary for the groom to toast the bridesmaids. And so today I want to toast to the bridesmaids and to the flower girl. To the bridesmaids.
Well said, Tom. I'm proud of you. Pete Gadsden of the bakery. Would you like to respond to the toast to the bride? Pete, over to you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the addition to my outfit. I knew it was missing something until now. I'm genuinely going to get a lot of use out of this, so thank you very much. That's a hard speech to follow, but here goes. Now, as we all know, every great man has a time of formation, undergoes trials and challenges to sharpen his teeth, quicken his wit, resolve his nerve, forge his will. You don't just wake up one day and see this man you see before you. It takes time. I knew from the first time that I met him how much work there was to be done. And yet I knew this day would come deep down inside, which is why for the last 10 years, 6.5 of which have been in my own home, I've been training Tom. I take this role very seriously, and you both, as dog lovers, I'm sure you're aware of the time and resource that goes into training guide dogs. And as with guide dogs, you don't always know until quite far into the process whether they're going to make the grade or not. You'll be pleased to know that Tom has graduated, but with an asterisk next to his file. Your particular model, Danielle, does have some quirks that I ought to explain. So, on your wedding day, here is a guide to ownership if you're Thomas Torrey. The first category I have is a description. This is what it says. you should know that your new Tom is a wonderful, beautiful man, full of mystery, intrigue with unfathomable depths, the wit and cunning of a fox, the wisdom of an owl, and the body of a god. You should also know that some of this is sales blurb, so take it with a pinch of salt, but since you've already purchased him, you probably already know some of this. He has kind, bright eyes like the stars. His beard is good. They don't expect you to read past the first 2 sentences. I also have in the notes here that his beard will probably end up in most places on trimming day, which will likely include your toothbrush. So, under the ingenuity and problem-solving category, I've got that, not content to go down conventional wisdom routes, Tom prefers to discover solutions through hard-won experience. And I've got a case example here. Dan Webb, an associate of mine, and I one day, observing Tom in agony, asked what was wrong. He replied that he had cramp in his calf. When we suggested to Tom, at the tender age of 37, he would straighten his legs to alleviate the pain, we were firstly met with confusion, and then wonderment. No longer, in his words, would he simply have to take it. He may have taken his time, but this victory was all the sweeter for it. Tom will fiercely hold on to revelation when it arrives. This next section says that Tom loves to be spontaneous. It says that at times he has been known to change his mind on things. And I've got another example in the case file here. It says, on our walk, Tom said, as we walked past the golf course, I don't understand the appeal of golf on any level. It makes no sense whatsoever, hitting a ball around the course. I'll never play golf. Later on in the walk on the same day, as we passed a second golf course, Tom stopped and made us stop to watch as someone prepared to take a shot onto the green. We waited and watched this shot. It was a good one. And Tom, in a solitary way, clapped enthusiastically as this woman made the shot. One of the players remarked, "They love it." As Tom walked on, Tom said, "This might be a bit of a U-turn, but I think I'd really enjoy it." I used to really like pitch and putt as a kid. So, last night after our civilised dinner, Tom suggested we go to the beach. We weren't quite sure, but we thought, yeah, we'll go along with this. So we went for a late night jaunt to an industrial dockyard. Ignoring our protests, though it seemed sketchy, and then to the beach to throw stones into the stormy sea. So that's how we spent last night. He enjoys early morning sunrises, bike rides, live music, skinny dipping on holiday. He'll also claim that he likes cold water swimming, but you probably shouldn't believe him on this one. My advice to you would be that if Tom says he hates something, let it sit a while. He may come round a little while later. Also, if he's suggesting an outlandish idea that seems completely unreasonable and you really hate, it may be easier just to nod and agree, because you know it may never happen. You do need to get worried when large numbers of Amazon parcels start arriving. And the flip side of that is, if you really want to do something that he also wants to do it immediately. So, The other thing about Tom is that he loves really well. And he also gets attached to certain things. He's unfailingly hospitable and at ease with visitors. His door is always open, quite literally. I've got another note in the case file here, and it says, at one point, when our friend Gemma came to visit, as he emerged from his bedroom with trousers, started putting trousers on, unaware, so at ease is he with the presence of visitors and strangers. The point here is that Tom may need reminding from time to time about what's appropriate. Tom will fall in love with things and there'll be no persuading him otherwise. A dressing gown that was inappropriately short he owned, I'm told, from the age of 15 until his friends graciously bought him a new one. There was an MG, a convertible car that owned, that Tom absolutely loved. That car was always broken, and yet he loved it to bits, literally. So, and here are some phrases and some quotes from Tom, which I feel sum up the way he loves well. This one says, "I'm like knits. Once you've got me, I keep coming back." Another one, with reference to the Titanic. "While all the posh people upstairs, we'd be down in 3rd class having a great party." It's now all yours, Danielle. That says, you may need to help Tom look after his things sometimes. Now, I'm someone who prides myself on my impeccable organisational and timekeeping. Wow. Elizabeth Husserman. Alas, I failed to teach this to Tom, try as I might. This has been marked down as an area for growth. I'm not sure whether this is in reference to Tom or the mould in the bathroom. I know it may not seem this way to you, Danielle, but I and the other assessors have taken note that since he's known you, he's become markedly tidier. Sometimes the subject just requires the right influence. Got another story from the case file. We were out walking in the South Downs recently, and Tom was presented with a pink football that symbolised his love for Danielle. He was told in no uncertain terms to look after this and guard it for the whole day, because of the significance of what it meant. I can say with certainty that it lasted at least 3 or 4 minutes before Tom kicked it off a beachy head. At great personal risk, I looked to see what had become of it, and I can confirm that it did land in the sea. The geographers here may want to confirm this, but I calculate with longshore drift that Tom's love for you is probably in Bognor Regis. They want to retrieve it. You'll be pleased to know, Danielle, that Tom has never wavered in his besottedness with you. You should also know that Tom is very well loved wherever he goes. People write songs about Tom, known with great affection. Such titles include "Torah is our king," "Tom Torah, his middle name is Guy," "Papa Tomasz, he's a holy man." Now I'm onto the skills section. Tom is musically gifted, has a wonderful voice, which I often have heard at full belt emerging from the shower. He has a burgeoning film career also, appearing in such varied and supremely high qualities as Double Dragon, Double Dragon 2, Double Dragon 3, Double double dragon origins. Come wine with me. Thomas's Guide to Thomas the Tank Engine. I did make that one up. The J-Minator. Journey to the Underworld. Text to flirt with hot guys. And guns, guns, guns. Some iconic scenes include that one where he dances hypnotically with Christian in a field. That other one where he dances hypnotically with Christian in a cage. That one where he carries Joss away in a sack. And all the ones where he has copious amounts of face paint on. Tom is also a very skilled vlogger. So I have to warn you, as you go away on holiday, Danielle, you'll probably be interviewed at breakfast. And then after the holiday, you'll get the joy of watching different takes, probably about 6 or 7 times. But you'll know that holiday so well by the end of it, you'll never forget it. This next category says miscellaneous. I've got mayonnaise and long pauses written here. As has been made mention of, you already know this by now, but just keep plenty of mayonnaise in stock. I've attached the number to the notes for the wholesaler. This is something else I've experienced often, is that when Tom is doing something while talking, it may take a while for him to convey a message. Often he'll pause mid-sentence, and depending on how important this information is, you may wish to go away and come back to formulate the rest of the sentence. Tom loves YouTube videos. Anyone who sat with Tom for any length of time will know this. In fact, last night and this morning, we got to watch many wonderful YouTube videos. In the right mood and context, this can be highly insightful, entertaining, and informative. For example, last night we were fully informed of all the things that can go horribly wrong where flower girls are concerned. I'm very pleased to say that none of them threw up. But I'm just trying to teach you the signs so that you're enabled to make a choice about these things. And probably related to the last point, Tom likes to tell stories. So just let him tell the story about how the famous worship leader, Pymm almost slept in his bed. The other thing you should know about Tom is that he likes to perch on the end of your bed late at night and engage in conversations about the metaphysical nature of life and the universe and Trinitarian theology. So I suppose you should ensure a steady, significant supply of mayonnaise, allow sufficient time for important information to be communicated, and if you're after an early night, don't allow Tom to show you a YouTube video or ask you a deeply profound question after 9:30. And this is a side note, and I have to say it's a little bit unprofessional on my part, but since Tom is also my landlord, I was hoping to take this opportunity to talk about some issues with the house. There's the wall that's collapsing. And also the strange person I'd never met before she moved in called Emma, who just arrived and started baking your wedding cake. I'm not complaining, since I like cake, but who is she? Now, this last section is entitled Sleeping Arrangements. Now, Tom likes his sleeping arrangements to be just so. It's worth bearing in mind that you probably won't get him to sleep in a tent when there's a hotel room available in a 20-mile radius. If he tells you he's feeling a little bit poorly or cold, it's probably too late. Now, on the occasions that Tom has slept in a tent, the conditions have needed to be just right. You should find his bedding in the welcome pack you'll receive later on. There's the Sleep Well 3000. This is very important. There's also, I promise I'm not making this up, the Huggy Bear Snuggle Blanket. Pillows, a duvet, and the comfiest foam mattress known to man. So make sure there are plenty of snuggly blankets and duvets in this basket, and you should be fine. And he also needs a little sleepy when he gets home from work. Now, we're always told that we shouldn't get too attached to our dogs, humans, because we're training them for someone else. But I have to confess at this point that I've become rather attached to this one. At first, I wasn't sure that this would work out as a match. Tom had always insisted he'd end up marrying a nice Jewish girl. But it was pretty clear early on that this wasn't an issue for Tom. He well and truly won him over. And in the time I've known you, it's pretty clear why. Among other things, am I allowed to say how amazing you look today, Danielle? So take good care of him, feed him well, give him the odd treat, and he'll be as good as gold. I know that Tom still has a lot to learn, but now this wonderful man is all yours, except on Naked Wednesdays. Tom has assured me he'll still be stopping by for those. Emma, you should probably steer clear of Wednesdays. Tom is calm in a crisis. He's insatiably creative. He's a faithful friend. His heart is ever so deep. He's a profound thinker who loves to wrestle and challenge. His door is always open. He loves the spontaneous adventure. He's wise, he loves really well, and he's kind and compassionate. He's shown himself stalwart and loyal through the fiercest storm. Early on in their relationship, I saw Tom remain present through really tough, real things that would have scared off or broken others. He was able to do it by the strength of his character, but also by his devotedness and love for you, Danielle. I highly endorse this man to you. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, however, it's a little known fact, and Tom would never bring it up himself. He's far too bashful, but I thought it was time everyone should know it. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom is a pilot. Which is a massive coincidence given the table setting. Who knew that everyone would find out tonight? So no longer will you hide your light under a bushel, my friend. Please charge your glasses. May your new adventure together be blessed with rich joy, laughter, profound moments, abundant life, and love. To Tom and Danielle.